Today, we are going to start a new topic that is CSS. Okay, that is CSS. Now, the full form of CSS is Cascading Style Sheet. Now, how to do it? What is the use of the CSS? Okay, before starting the actual programming, I have to give you the idea about this. Now, what is the full form of CSS? Cascading Style Sheet. Now, before going to the detail of the programming, I have to tell you something. Suppose in the HTML, the tags you have used, suppose B tag for bold, then I for italics, U for underline, you have used that one. But when you use, how the browser will know that if you use this tag, the reaction of the browser or the output in the browser will be this one. Because we know that one computer cannot understand anything except the instruction. It cannot think about by its own. It required the instruction. Now, there are two types of tags in HTML. One is called the predefined tag. Which one is the predefined tag? What you are using. Suppose you are using this one, B tag. Now, this is called the predefined. Why it has been called the predefined? If you use this one, italics, this tag is also called the predefined. Why it is called the predefined? Because the definition of these tags has been written in a CSS file and it has been with the browser. Means when you use that one from the CSS file, browser will read that what will be the action of the browser if you write this one. Fine. So definitions of the tags is written in the CSS file and that CSS file will with the browser. So what we are going to do, we are going to write that particular CSS file. Now the question, you may ask the question, why? Already it has been written over there. No, we are going to use some user defined tags. User defined means with the use of the CSS you can create the user defined tags, means tag according to my own wish. I told you there are two types of tags. One is the predefined tags. The example is bold, italics, underline, paragraph, already defined, and the behavior of the tag is already defined with the browser with a CSS file. Now suppose if I declare a tag like this, suppose this is not a predefined tag. Now if I want a specific behavior for this tags, means if I write this tag and write some text like this and close these tags, okay, then this word will change the color and it will become blue. How it will going to be happen? Because predefined tags already, the what will be the behavior, what will be the action of the browser, that has been written and in a CSS file and it is already with the browser. Now if I want to work with my own tags, then I have to write the CSS file. Okay, I have to define the behavior of this tag, and when I use this tag, browser, what the browser will do? Browser will refer to that particular CSS file which I have created, and then from that it will able to understand what will be the action of the browser if I am going to write this one. Means I am going to define the behavior of the user defined tags in a CSS file. Okay, to write this type of HTML programming, I require two types of files. Both are in both the cases we are going to use the notepad. One is a HTML file where I am going to write the programs and I am going to write my own tags, not the predefined tags where is with the HTML already. And in one file I am going to write the behavior of that particular user defined tags. Okay, that is a CSS file. Fine. And both the files are going to be linked. Fine. So this is called the CSS and it is called the external CSS. There are two types of CSS files. Okay. So internal and the external. This is an external. First we learn the external CSS. Fine. Now what will going to be happen over there? How many type files I require? I require two files. One will be saved with the .html extension where I am going to write the simple HTML codes. Okay, I will write my own tags, not the predefined tags. Okay, and in another file I am going to define, that is will be saved as .css. That file is going to save with .css extension. In that particular file I am going to define the behavior of the tags that I have used in my HTML file. Fine. Now right now we are going to start that one. We are going to write the CSS programming. First we will write the HTML file using our own tag. Then we are going to write a CSS file to define the behavior of that particular tag. Fine. So first we are going to write, here is some rules and regulation I am going to say to you and you will follow that one. Fine. First the HTML tag, no problem. Now then, before only I have told you that we have to make the relation between the HTML file and the CSS file. That portion where we are going to set up the relation between the HTML file and the CSS file, that browser can understand that where in which file the definitions of the tags has been written over there. That particular portion is going to be written inside the head tag. Fine. We know that one, there is a tag called head tag, that particular line. Okay, now I am going to write that particular line through which we are going to set up the relation between the HTML file and the CSS file, and when the browser is executing the HTML file from that particular line, browser will able to understand for the behavior of the tag which CSS file it has to be look after. Fine. The tag is link. Fine. Link. Then attribute is going to be used, rel is equal to, rel means relation. What type of relation is there? The relation is style sheet. STYLESHEET, style sheet. Fine. The relation will be the style sheet. What will be the type of the file? Type text oblique CSS. Fine. Now what will happen? The most important portion is going to become over here. That is href. Href means hyperreference. When you have create the hyperlink, you have used that one. Means href will store the path or the location of the CSS file. Means when the browser will going to execute this HTML file from the href, it will able to understand which file, CSS file, it has to be look after. Fine. So href hyperreference is equal to the name of the CSS file. Suppose the name of the CSS file is ab.css. Fine. Now this one is the most important line, because without this line you are not able to set up the relation between the CSS file and the HTML file. Fine. It has been finished. Now we are going to close the head tag. Head tag has been closed. Now suppose I am going to define a tag of my own. Okay. Omit cannot be a predefined tag. It is the tag created by me. Okay. Now inside that I have written some text. I am going to write some text. I close this tag. Now I want the behavior. What will be the behavior? This omit tag will make this change this font color into blue. Okay, this is my own tag. So first I complete this one. Okay, the HTML file. Now I close the HTML. Fine. I close the HTML. So what will be the behavior? I want that when I use this tag, any text that will be enclosed, means written in the opening and closing of this omit tag, it will be, the font color will be blue. Fine. So first I have complete my HTML file. First I am going to save this one with the .html extension. I'm going to save this one with a .html extension. Suppose for our convenience, I have created one folder where I am going to save this one. Fine. The folder name is CSS. Fine. This is the folder. I open this one. So what I have done, I am going to save this one with a HTML extension. I have given the name demo.html. Fine. I save it. Work has been done. Now I have to write the CSS file and define the behavior of this tag, because this is my creation. The browser will not able to understand what will be the behavior of this tag. So what I will do, I will open another notepad file where I am going to write the CSS file. Fine. First I will write the name of the tag. Now this is a case sensitive. If I write omit in the small letters, obviously I have to write the omit in the small letter over here. Okay, if I write omit in the capital letter over here and write in the small letter, the tag is not going to be work. Fine. Now the second brace. This is the rules for writing the CSS file. What we are going to do, after the tag you open the second brace. Now I want to change the color of text, then colon, then the value. What color? Suppose I want that whenever I am going to use the omit tag, what will going to be happen? The change, the font will be inside that opening and closing of the omit tag will become blue. Semicolon. Second brace close. Now there I have given the name ab.css. So I have to save this one as a ab.css. Okay. Here what I have done, I have set up the behavior of this omit tag. Fine. Now I will go, I will save this one. I will save this one in the same folder. I am going to save this one in the same folder where I have saved that particular file. Fine. So what will going to happen? ab.css. Fine. ab.css. I want to save this one. I have saved. Fine. I have saved. I'll just minimize this one. I'll open the folder. I will open the folder. You will see this one. What is going to happen? There are two files. See this one. From this special sign, you are able to understand this is an CSS file and this is an HTML file. Already we know that one. Right now I am going to open this one, the HTML file, to see the behavior. See that one, it is working or not. See this one. The text color has been changed over there. I have not used any predefined tags to change the color. It is my own tag. I set up the behavior of that particular tag. Okay. Okay, fine. Today up to this. Thank you very much.